Good day, good day, good day, good day. Good day, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rep Melissa. I am Rep Melissa. SIP stands for Spirit and Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Good day, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Good day, Pamela. Good day. Jay Thomas from Greenlee, Colorado. All right. We got a couple of Colorado folks in the house. I love it. I love it. Welcome. 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 So it is Tuesday. Yesterday we had a replay of what I call the best of SIP. I share previous shows that I've done over the years on Mondays. And so Tuesday, we start a new series, right, Lindsay? Here are my Colorado folks. There's Shay, there's Linda, all my Colorado people up in the house, All right, y'all. So I was having a moment this morning. So I get up early. I get up between 6:30, and at 7 I have a writing body double that I meet with on every day, Monday through Fridays, and we write. And after I finished writing, I felt like heaviness, right? I felt this heaviness. And I was sitting right here and I felt like this heaviness overcome me. And so I stopped what I was doing and I closed my eyes. I took a couple of deep breaths and I said, "What are you?" What are you? Because usually when I feel heaviness, I feel it right here, like right on my chest. But this time I didn't feel it there. It was like around me, if that makes sense. It was kind of like a aura, you know? And I just sat with it for a little bit. And then I went upstairs and I said, let me do a little writing because writing is one of the modalities that helps me to really connect within. And so I took out my journal again and started writing. And just a series of questions came up. How are you? How are you feeling? Oh, I should have kept my journal with me so I could share with y'all all the questions that came up. Let me see if it comes up on the post for today's show because I really want to share these questions with you. Okay. No, it doesn't come up. How are you and how are you feeling? That was two of the questions. There was like four questions. And so I took a deep breath and I said, okay, how am I? And I said, I am fine. I am okay. I am good. I am here. So all these responses came up and I was just writing them out. And then the next question was, how are you feeling? And I said, I feel, what was the word? Trepidation. I feel trepidation. And I was like, that's not a word that I would normally use, trepidation. I don't use that word. So then I asked, who who feels that way? Because I don't feel trepidation. So I was like, whose feeling is that? Y'all don't think I'm cray cray. I'm not cray cray. I'm just sharing what I do. And so I said, so who is this? Who is trepidation? And what came up was it was me when I was a teenager. And this memory came up for me when this memory came forward, and I do not remember the details of it. It had to do with um, my best friend at the time and me finding someone sharing information with me about my best friend that I did not want to believe. And the feeling that I felt about it wasn't betrayal. I had this feeling of trepidation. And I said I was going to look up the meaning of trepidation just to make sure. Let's do that now. Okay. Trepidation is a word. Okay, let's see dictionary. Why is the dictionary saying trepidation is not a word? Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Trepidation. Trepidation. Fe- um, fear, alarm, or agitated. Origins to hurry, panic, alarm. Yes, I felt that way. Thank you, Shay. Trepidation, trepidation. You'll know how I get with words sometimes. Trepidation. I felt alarmed by this information that someone has shared me. And I felt panicked also because I was not clear about talking to my best friend about this information because a part of me really did not want to know if it was true or not. So I was like, huh, this is interesting. I have not thought about this person for decades. This was when I was like 15, 16 years old. Have not thought about this person for decades. Um, and I was like, interesting, you know? So I just, sat with it. I was like, is there anything else for me to know about this? And the guidance that I got was just no. And thank you for feeling the feelings and acknowledging your feelings. And let's just be with it today. And I said, okay. And then the feeling left. It just poof, dissolved. So going on with the rest of my morning, and I'm on Facebook, and I said, let me post some things about what we're doing at the center. And we talked about this last week, doom strolling and doom scrolling. We talked about this. So I picked it up, go on Facebook with the intention of posting something about the center, Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. And instead, my eyes get drawn to that little squiggly thing that says you have a message where your direct messages are. So I go and I click on there, click on, and guess what, y'all? I have a direct message from the person that I was just sharing about, from my best friend from when I was a teenager, sent me a message on Facebook. I was like, what in the world? What in the world? So basically, she said she had been looking for me, that she found me on Facebook, and she would really love to reconnect. So I didn't respond because I was like, I didn't respond. But I was like, I started laughing after some point because I was like, wow, look how connected we are. Look at how tuned in we are with each other. It's amazing, right? And it's wonderful. So I'm sitting, I will respond. I'm just not sure um, if this is someone I want to reconnect with or not. So I'm just sitting with it. I don't respond to I sit with things. I don't just react, and that's just not me anymore. So this led me to checking in with you guys. How are you? So this may not be our series for the week, but it is for today. Have you ever had that experience? This just feeling comes over you, and you know it's a feeling that does not necessarily belong to you present day. It's a feeling, and it may not even be your feeling, right? It could be picking up other feelings in the atmosphere, right? And I know there are people who are very sensitive to this, right? Empaths, very, very sensitive to picking up energy, vibrations, picking up feelings from the atmosphere. And I am tuned in that way as well. But this was a different type of feeling for me this morning. So I wanted to check in with you all, with my congregation of joy. I want to check in and see, how are you feeling? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you feeling? So let me just check in while y'all write in how you're feeling today, and if you've ever had that experience. All right. So I'm hearing from my Colorado folks. So Linda sharing that Greenlee is her hometown and she's lived there for 50 years. Wonderful. Shay is affirming that's exactly the process. Yes, what I was sharing this morning. Thank you for the word trepidation. Thank you for that. And Shay's also sharing that's exactly how the subconscious mind works. You're blessed to know how to process that. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate that. And Shay says, many times your story goes in my book. This happens all the time, Shay says. It's the collective consciousness. It gets very difficult sometimes for me. Yes, Shay, I feel you. And Linda says, very feeling emotional person. Yes, yes, yes. And Jay Thomas said, yes, I have had that feeling. Optimistic. Yes, it could be a uplifting feeling as well. Indeed, Jay Thomas. I have had that happen to me often. Yes, yes, yes. So it was more than because I was sharing this with someone this morning, and she said, yeah, it's like when you think about somebody and then they call you. And I say, yeah, but it was different than that. It was such a strong um presence. It was such a strong presence for me. Linda says, I've learned that my emotions can be my guide. Yes, Linda, 100%. Our emotions are so important for us to feel and to know that they carry so much information for us if we are willing to engage, right? And be gentle in that engagement, right? Be gentle with ourselves in that engagement. So I want to share a little bit from today's Science of Mind magazine. Raymond Anderson is the Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson is the author of this month's daily guides. And if you follow Raymond on social media, he is amazing. He is just an amazing person. And so today he was writing about embracing the I'm possible. And he ends with these questions, and we might be with these questions this week. In what ways can you actively choose to dwell in possibilities today? How can you embody your affirmations as declarations of your true nature, which is why they appear as the activity of your life? How might such an embodied way of being enhance various aspects of your life and the world? So, to answer those questions, we need to be tuned in with ourselves, right? And they're really not a think questions. These are really tuning in questions. So I might do a little bit more with those questions. I just wanted to share those, see if they activate anything within you. And if you have the Science of Mind magazine and you haven't read today's yet, I would encourage you to do so. I might share more of that tomorrow. So I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. Let me check in with y'all one more time, then we'll get into some joy news. Shay said, remember the story about the guy who showed up on my TV? Yes, Shay. Yes. I remember that. I'm a lot better than I was, but I still don't feel very well sometimes. I'm working through a lot. Yeah, peace and blessings, Shay. Yes, I remember the story. I don't remember the details, Shay, but I do remember you sharing with me the story about the guy that showed up on your TV. So, how are you? Take a moment today to just ask yourself that question and then tune in to the answer. Tune into the answer. How are you feeling in your body? Do you feel tension anywhere? Breathe into that so that it can start to dissipate. I guess in essence, I'm inviting us to just be more present with ourselves, to honor our feelings, not to shoo them away, not to say, oh, that doesn't matter, or I don't have time for that. Let's not treat ourselves that way. Let's treat ourselves with love and care. Yes? So, all that I shared with you that I did this morning took about maybe 10 minutes, certainly less than 15, to become present to what I was feeling, to identify the source of the feeling, because it didn't feel like me today, and then to do some writing about it and to let my inner guidance guide me. Allow your inner guidance to guide you, right? All right. All right. So thank y'all. Thank you, Jay Thomas. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. A beautiful plan and messages for today. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get into some joy news. So this week is a wonderful week. It's a wonderful week because we start a new process at Rockland CSL, where I am the spiritual leader. Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living is a new thought center in Rockland County, and we meet in person and virtually. So I hope that you will join us on a Sunday for service. On Wednesdays, we like to do a little, Wednesday's considered hump day. So offering to the community and to everyone an opportunity to come together in community and be with each other. And so we used to do what is called Community Cafe, and that might circle back around, but we're taking a pause and we are starting our new spiritual living book study. So our first book is Making Peace with Your Parents. Making Peace with Your Parents. So join us for our new spiritual living book study. It's a weekly gathering where we explore spiritual wisdom together in community through shared reading, open-hearted reflection, and conscious conversation. We deepen our practice and support each other in living spiritual practices in daily life. So one of the things, let me take the banner down. One of the things that I want to share about the book, Making Peace with Your Parents, is if you are in therapy, if you are still dealing with very, very, very traumatic childhood experiences, this is not the book for you. This is not the book for you. Okay. If you're dealing with deep depression, deep anxiety, deep issues in that regard, this is not the book for you. Okay. So get support through professionals, your therapist, if you're seeing a therapist, or this might spark um, or plant a seed to reach out if there are really, really deep seated concerns and situations that you dealt with in your childhood. Okay. So I just want to put out that disclaimer. Yes. Okay. So join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for our spiritual living book study. It will be on Zoom. Go to rocklandcsl.org for the Zoom link. This is free to everyone. You do not need to be a member of Rockland CSL. So share the news and and join us tomorrow. So we meet every Wednesday, 7 p.m. I appreciate that. Yes, Shay. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me around the book, lady. Yes, Shay. I appreciate input. I appreciate feedback. I appreciate wisdom from my congregation of joy. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right. So that's all the joy news I'm going to share today. Just that one thing so that that lands. Yeah. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. So peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes. I'm looking for the thing. There we go. Bye, y'all.